pull up your big boy, big girl pants, make some calls, make some connections, and get after it. All right. So on today's Workshop Wednesday, tactics and strategies that just crush, we're going to go over the conversation I've been having with a lot of my coaching clients here this past week. And if you're on my roster to have a one-on-one this week, this is what we are talking about between now and New Year's. And here's the big opportunity that we have is if I asked you how managed, maintained, how warm, or how touched your database is on a scale of 1 to 10. And 10 is you have never missed anyone or any segment of all of either your groups, your tags, your whatever. How would you rate your engagement this year with your database? 10 being everyone's been touched 4 to 6 times. I don't skip a single section. I don't look at a phone number, cringe, and text them instead of calling them. Like I do it the way it's written. I'm good. Scale of 1 to 10. How many? Go ahead and type in your number in the chat box. What would you rate your level of database engagement and compliance on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being never missed, not a single one, and 1 being what's a database? What is this database thing you speak of? Ooh, I love the transparency here. Michelle in the lead with a 5, tied with Chris at a 5, Brad with a 5. So 4, 4s, 3s. Ooh, guys. So good news. There's no judgment on this call. There's only opportunity. And here's the thing. Feedback is the fuel of champions. Ask yourself, okay, what has held you back? What has stopped you, especially with the most challenging segments of your database? And I'm going to assume some of those segments are people that you haven't actually talked to or engaged with since high school, since that last job you had a couple years ago, or maybe even your first year in the business. And now it's year 7 and it's kind of weird. You should have been in touch. You're not in touch. And if I reach out, it's just like, oh, why are you calling? Like, how? Right? Raise your hand. What? And if it's a different reason, share it in the comments here. Share it or unmute and say, it's not that, it's this. Here's what's holding me back from reaching out to those individuals. What does anybody have anything other than absence makes the call go cringier? No? Okay, cool. So again, because it's Thanksgiving and the Christmas season, I'm feeling festive. And I'm here to give you a gift. Are you ready? Here's the gift. It's the gift of a mindset shift. Because right now, in this season, unexpected calls, especially from people that we haven't talked to for forever, are not weird. They're welcome. In fact, 'tis the season to re-engage. 'Tis the season to reconnect. 'Tis the season to clean it up. 'Tis the season to set new intentions. 'Tis the season to bring people back in, re-engage, and then let them know, hey, next year, I've got some really incredible goals that are going to allow me to be way more in touch and do some really fun things. And so I want to make sure that like I reached out, said hello, made sure you guys were good, etc. So in short, it's not so much what you say when you do these reach outs. It's the fact that you do these reach outs to warm them up. Because whatever your 2025 business plan strategy is, it should be incorporating some type of purposeful outbound reach out to your SOI, some type of marketing, social media and otherwise, that has calls to action for people to engage and request more info or download this thing or whatever it is, right? And so as you're calling people and as you're connecting and commenting and liking and posting and tagging people on social media, you're going to start getting more FaceTime, more impressions, more awareness. And so these cold relationships over the next 6 months are going to get warmed up, and it has to start at some point. And this is the season. You have a 3-week window right now between now and New Year's to have a pass to call anybody, regardless of distance, regardless of relationship, regardless of like where you were when you left it. Like you could literally call your high school social studies teacher and be like, Mr. Bonema, it's Matt. I bet you never thought you'd hear from me again. In fact, I was just watching a TikTok. It was a social studies teacher, and your name came to mind, and I had to find you and reach out just to say, hey, thanks for what you did for us as kids. And I was an absolute tool, and I apologize. It's been 25 years, and thanks. And he may go, what? Why? What? And I'm like, hey, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Merry Kwanzaa, like, cheers. If there's anything you ever need, please don't hesitate to reach out. I just want to be a resource for you. Uh, Referrals, vendors, electricians, plumbers, etc. This is what I do. And again, I saw TikTok, made me think of you. I wanted to reach out. Hope you and your family are doing well. And then let it go. And that's it. That's the touch. That's the reach out. Like, you could literally call all of your high school teachers if you're feeling brave or bold. So I gave you the gift of the mindset shift. Here's the window. Okay, what is the tactical, practical strategy that you can use? I'm going to give you 3. First and foremost, number 1, if you've been in the business for any period of time, you need to go to your MLS and do a detailed search by agent ID, which is your agent ID, by sellers and buyers, close date, 02, take 365 times how many years you've been in the business. You've been in the business 9 years. Take 365 times 9. That's how many days you have to put into the search criteria for sold. So 0 to 7,972 days, go. And then you're going to get a list of all of your transactions, buy side and sell side. Okay. Then you're going to go into those. And all you got to do is click on ownership or tax records. And that name should spark a memory, should spark some, hopefully it sparks a memory. If not, guess what? Guess what happened? They sold without you. And that's the new owner that you didn't know about. And that'll be sobering too. And that's going to be the lesson in like 2-3 weeks. So first and foremost, go through all of your past sales, all of your past buyers, and go. And then so start there. I will challenge you this year. Do not let 2024 come to a close without having a direct connection to every single person you've done business with in the past. In some capacity, just as a hey, high five, hey, how are things? I know it's been forever since we chatted. I'm still here. I think about you guys. How's the house? What have you done? Whatever it is. Again, it doesn't matter what you say. It's the act. It's the intention. It's the connection. So if you've been in the business for any period of time, you cannot let 2024 go by in the next 3 weeks without, I didn't say text. I didn't say DM. If your brain automatically went to that default, that's your problem. That's the interference that's holding you back from the biggest opportunity that you have. This is not a text or a DM campaign. Pull up your big boy, big girl pants, make some calls, make some connections, and get after it. There's going to be a time for the DMs, and we'll push that off. All right. So and then you may be on this call going, Matt, I've been in the business like 2 years. I'd be done with this task. I don't know, today. I've had 12 or 20 or whatever conversation or past transactions. Cool. Great. Now go into your social media. Take a look at your last 30 days posts, and you go into every single one of your posts, and anyone who engaged with you, liked, hearted, laughed, etc., or commented, they get a call. First and foremost, your last 30 days of social media, whether that's Facebook, whether that's Instagram, whether it's TikTok, or whatever other platform you're using to engage with your following, go there. Do not. So this is part 2. If there's somebody in your social media that liked, laughed, loved, that's funny. Like, laughed, loved your content or commented. And then you look at them and you realize, I don't have their phone number in my phone. Cool. Guess what they get? They get a video DM. Not a text, not a whatever. You go into Messenger, you click the camera, you do a video DM. Hey, man, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being a friend. Thanks for always commenting and engaging. I super appreciate it. I just want to reach out to you, wish you happy holidays. Let me know if there's ever anything you need, and have a great one. Take care. That's it. That's the message. 15 seconds. How many of you could do that? How many you could do that? Even Brad can do that. All right, that's tactic number two. Tactic number three is what you should have been doing this whole year anyway, and that's using Audra's Friend Connect program. And what I'm going to challenge you to do is I want you to go into, here's what I'm going to tell you, groups 7 through 12, because you know you haven't touched them. Groups 7 through 12. Start at 7, go through 12. If you get done with them, come back. You've got 3 weeks. This is turbo season, right? This is turbo season. If you've been implementing the Friend Connect program and you've been following the system and been reaching out in the 4 modalities quarterly throughout the year, that's good. And for those of you that are already self-reported, we have a lot of opportunity for compliance and consistency. There's been a lot of 4s, 5s, and I don't know if I saw anything more than the 5. Was there a 6? Maybe. I don't know. And for those of you that didn't reply, you're probably still like 1, 2. That's cool. I get it. Everyone starts. We had to start somewhere. Here's the worst part is next year being on another call like this, hearing the same message again, going, why didn't I do it last year? And then next year doing another call. Because there's some of you are on this call, you're like, this is the 4th time I've heard this, and yet I haven't done it yet. When am I going to actually do it? When am I going to do what the pros do? I had a call yesterday with somebody on our roster that he called me, and I really wanted to honor that call, because he said, hey, I really need some help. I'm running out of like inspiration and motivation. The energy is low, the excitement's down, etc. And I'm like, all right, tell me more about it. And he's like, well, I'm not building anything right now. Like a lot of these things are in place. And I feel like I'm just kind of spinning my wheels. And I said, well, let me ask you something. Are you mistaking motivation and inspiration for excitement and newness? And he goes, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, this whole year we've been working on building stuff, and that's fun and that's exciting. And yet what we were building is the vehicle to execute on those 20% activities, the dollar producing activities. And now they're built. And so all that's left now is to show up, do the reps, and eat the chicken and rice. And that's boring. And this is when it gets dangerous. And he goes, oh yeah, shoot. And I said, we've built the machine. Now you've got to show up every day, put the gas in the machine, and keep feeding it lumber. You got to keep feeding the machine now. And this is the part that's boring. And this is the part where your bank account explodes. And this is the part where you get into mastery. And this is the part whenever you just look up a few months from now and everybody's going to go, how did you do it? What did you do? What was your secret? And you're going to be like, man, it's been boring as shit. Like all I've done is literally I show up and I do these 13 things every day from 9 to 11. And it sucks. And I don't want to do it every day. And I do it every day because it's what's on my calendar. And my calendar has nothing to do with how I feel. It has everything to do with what our goals were. I don't know what I did. I didn't do anything special. And if you ask anyone that you look up to, how'd you guys do? How are you doing it? They're going to tell you the same thing. They're like, I treated it like a job. I showed up and I just did these things every day. Alex Hormozy said it best when he says, do what's challenging until it becomes easy, but just understand that when it becomes easy is when it actually begins to be hard. Because once it's easy, we want to find something else to do because for whatever reason, we equate challenge with productivity versus once we do the challenging thing and we get good at it, we don't want to continue doing the thing that works. We want to find that new, shiny, exciting, whatever, because we want to continue to be in that dopamine cycle, that rush or whatever, that urgency or the scarce, whatever that is. And we self-medicate with chaos versus staying disciplined to the activities that we committed to at the beginning. So I digress for a second just to say if you hadn't created consistency, these next 3 weeks are your gift. This is your pass. This is your free call to be able to reach deep into the database, reach deep into those relationships that you look at and go, I really don't want to call them because it's going to be weird. It doesn't have to be weird. It's the holidays. Everyone is expecting, like, it's not unexpected to get a call from nowhere during the holidays. Tap into the spirit. Tap into the festivities. Whether you believe or not, doesn't matter. This is your opportunity to reconnect and redevelop some relationships that you may have kind of set aside or taken for granted. So, your 3 tactics and strategies. Again, who can tell me the first one?
MLS.
MLS, right? So what do you got to do? Go back in, pull up all your buy sides and sell sides from when you started this business up until today. And where do you start? Start all the way at the beginning. The person I talked to had done about 300 transactions in the last 9 years. We broke that down into the next 14 days. That was 25 a day. I said, perfect. My MLS gives me an opportunity to do a list of 25, 50, or 100 per screen. I said, set your MLS to 25 every day, knock out the first screen. Day 2, do the same search, go to screen 2, knock that out. Next, go, right? And then just do that. Actually, their number was 22.3. And I said, if you do 25, you'll ensure that you finish your list before Christmas for sure. Right. So that's number 1. And if you don't have 300 past sales, cool. What's strategy number 2? Who can tell us?
Social media. Facebook or any social media.
Social media, right? Like, laugh, love, comment, call them. If you don't have their number, what's the gift that they get from you? Video DM. Video DM. If you've never done a video DM, congratulations. That's my second gift to you. A new habit, a new opportunity to get a video DM. Video DMs are fun. We're kind of doing one right now. Oh, good news. Audra has her next Giving Tuesday or Giving Wednesday, Black Friday special. And then tactic number 3. Who's got it?
Friend Connect.
Yeah, get back into whatever database system you've been using and just also evaluate and take a look at, all right, what are the segments of the database system that I've been using that have been neglected or overlooked due to whatever fears, limiting belief, or interference that you have about that relationship when you looked at it. Because don't get me, like, I have them too. I have people on my list that I look at and I'm like, I don't want to call this person. Last time was absolutely horrible or like really awkward. And like, guess what? No one cares. No one cares about your feelings. Make the call. I say that with love. You guys, for those of you that are on the call, that you know that everything that comes out of my mouth is with love and care. I'm just sharing with you my feelings out loud, right?
I mean, if they're on your divorced clients list, like you divorced them because they were really terrible, they
may
shouldn't
have
probably be in
referrals.
your.
They may have referrals. You'd be surprised. Listen, there's some clients that like I never want to work with again, and they won't stop calling. Like they keep sending me referrals, and I'm like, all right, okay, thank you. I'm like, I didn't feel like that went very well, but they're like, but here's the thing: in their mind, they know what they're like, and if you were able to handle them during the transaction, they're like, this guy's amazing. Everybody else that we deal with like ghosts us and ignores us, and they go like, if you can handle me, then you can handle any one of my friends. And so don't discredit those worst transactions. They may have an army of people that they want to send your way because you were the only person in their world that can handle them. Meanwhile, every time you hung up the phone, you needed to like take 5 deep breaths and go outside and walk in the fresh air. You're like, toxic sauce, right?
I feel like you just encouraged me to get back into some toxic relationships.
No, just with, see, you just have to wear the protective gear with the mindset, the protective barrier
The
mindset.
boundaries.
Yeah, the boundaries. Just be totally okay with setting really concrete boundaries. Let them bounce off those boundaries. Thoughts Aha's questions around the gift of the season.
I love this conversation because it's literally my favorite lead gen source. It's the most underutilized but the highest rate of return, and it's the one. It's what people ignore, is reaching out to their database. And man, if you once you change your mindset around it, and you're just connecting with people that you already have a relationship with of any sort, it gets really fun. It's a lot better than cold calling or door knocking and wondering, is the person that comes to the door, are they going to throw something at me or yell at me and tell me to leave? I mean, door knocking works too, but your database, it's your gold mine.
Guys, listen, like, you don't know who's watching you. Like, let me share with you a story. I got a DM on Thursday from someone that I helped get into the business 5 years ago. And then they got out of the business a year and a half ago. I never see them on social. They don't engage with my stuff. But then she calls me on Thursday saying, "Hey, I've been following you and I want to get back in, and I watch you and I trust you, and I want you to tell me a little bit more about where you're at right now and then how you can help me." Cool. We met on Monday. Guess what? I then connected her with 3 really great people, and she's getting started right away. We're getting back into it. And the thing, I met her 5 years ago, and she doesn't even engage with my stuff on social, but she sees it. So like your social media stuff, like it's gold. It's powerful if you're putting some quality stuff out there. People are watching that you don't even know. Like the algorithm there's only like 7% of your followers will engage with you. Only about 15% see your stuff post through. But like there are some people that will actively seek out and look at your stuff and find you. So just know that if anyone took the time to engage with, like, comment, or anything to any of your posts, that's an open door invitation to be reaching out and talking to them.
My most current listing was someone who I volunteered with her at my kid's school. Now, keep in mind, my youngest is 18 years old. So this was elementary school. It's been a long time. And she follows me on social media, like we're friends, but I had no idea she has actually following me. And when we sat down and did that listing consult, she made it seem like we had been phenomenal friends for so long and that I was the only choice that she would have considered. And it was an honor. It was great. We actually have a mutual connection through a family member of mine. And that's why I thought she called. So when she told me that, I was like, this is awesome. Like I felt really good. But I think you're right. It's people, social media supplements the relationship. It helps people feel like they can know, like, and trust you.
Which is why you can't just lean on social media to be your number one marketing or lead generation source.
Yeah.
It's prospecting based, marketing enhanced. Social media is marketing. It's media. It's social media. So it's engaged media, but your content needs to be value based with some type of call to action for a deeper relationship, or to identify those that are closer in your funnel of opportunity, of those that are 6, 8, 12 months away from doing something, right? It's the contact, it's the call, it's the personal touch that cements the relationship. Social media supplements and supports the relationship.
Yeah, it's that personal, like you're building your brand, and a lot of your social media doesn't necessarily have a specific call to action because you don't want to seem salesy or whatever. It's kind of a day in your life in a lot of ways, where that call, that text, that touch, that's where you get those call to actions a lot of times, where you're actually reaching out to them. And
But so like one thing, when I say call to action, it's not like, here, download my sheet or like go jump into my course. It's often, hey, if you have any questions, reach out. Or if you like any referrals, or if there's anything I can help with as far as connecting you to whoever, let me know. Or, what did you think? What did you think about this? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's your opinions? Right? That's a call to action. It's a call for action. And sometimes that action is, hey, if you ever need anything, just reach out to me. Or, what do you think? Do you agree, disagree? What's your favorite quote? What's your this? And that's eliciting engagement because of a soft call to action. It's an invitation for engagement.
good point.
Matt, I also think that, when you're watching their social media, what's going on in their life. So you can reach out to them with a private call or a private DM and say, we've gone, for instance, a friend of ours, her husband had a stroke, but they're going to go on with life. My husband recently went to On with Life for Parkinson's. I made a comment to her how often they were, just things like that. You reach out to them with your experience and give them their feeling,
Yeah, because you're just being a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So good. All right. I know we're coming up right up against time. So here's my call to action for you. If you need some assistance with the database, or you have a goal to get database to be like your number one thing this year, reach out to Audra and Michelle. They've got exactly the course. They've got the systems. They've got the downloads. It's so simple. It's stupid. It's actually almost too simple, because then you're like, it can't work. This can't work. And yet those that do have massive results, and it's almost unfair. You kind of like, are we cheating? Is this legal? Is this system even legal? It is. Go reach out to Audra and Michelle. Have an amazing week. Don't waste the gift. The clock is literally ticking. You have between now and Christmas to have a free pass to make the call. Don't sleep on this. Have an amazing week, y'all.